Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Buddy Blackford for the new Boston Adobe After Effects CS6 tutorials. In this tutorial we're going to be talking about opacity and how to fade things out and fade them in, or turn them off or turn them on. So let's get right to it. This should be a pretty quick tutorial. Let's start now. The quickest way to get to opacity is by clicking on a layer and pressing T. That brings up the opacity, so you can do it to this one also. Another way is to twirl down into your transforms, and then opacity is down there at the bottom. So let's I like to hit T because it doesn't have all that other crap in the way. So if you have opacity at 100%, it's going to show. If you have it at 0, it's going to be gone. Let's turn it on. I have the two squishes here, and then we can you can animate opacity, and that's the way you can do crossfades, or you can animate opacity to be 100% and then 0% to just turn right off real quick. So I'll explain. We'll start at the beginning. We'll set the opacity to 100% by keyframing it. Clicking on the stopwatch starts the keyframe, and then we'll go in like a second and go to 0. Now if I do a RAM preview, you can see it fades out. Simple enough. Now you want something to turn off really quick, so you set your keyframe at a point, hit the page down button to go 1 frame. Use this all the time. Type in 0%, and now you can see it'll turn it off. Yep, that one turns right off without fading. That's easy. And when you're doing something like this and you're going to turn this off for good, you can grab your layer here on the end and pull it in close. That way After Effects doesn't try to render any layers you have, any frames on the layers, and it'll save you processing time. So then I would try to take this all the way down here. Doesn't have to be right on. Sometimes if you do it right on, you might mess up and have it like cut off too early or something like that. You can also animate opacity at the same time. So let's delete these keyframes, and I'm going to turn it off here. I'm going to click on both of these by holding Control or Shift. Shift will select a bunch in a row. Like here, I'll click on this, and then I'll hold Shift and click on BG. Oop, that's locked. Hold on. And it'll select all of them in between. Or I can click on the layer and hit Control, and it'll only select, kind of like when you're selecting keyframes. So let's looks like the opacity is at 0. We'll turn that back on 100 real quick, so you can see what's going on. Alright, select both, hit T, and if you hit the stopwatch for 1, it's going to make it go for 2 if you have, or for both of them if you have both selected. Move it. Now all you got to do is select or type in the percentage for 1, and they will both go to 50%. Move it back here and then put it back up, and just doing 1. Doesn't have to be the top one. I can do it to the bottom one too. Let's do 95%. Oh, not 1 zillion 95, just 95. Now you can see they're both at 95. Quick way to animate things at the same time. Another little tip for animating opacity, or any other value really, click on your keyframe here, and your current time indicator is not on that keyframe, so you don't know that what the value is of this keyframe. So you can right click it, 50% right there. This one, right click it, you know that one's at 100%. So let's see if those were actually at 100% and 50. Yep, that was at 100, and this one was at 50. It's a quick way to figure out what your keyframes are. So that's it for animated opacity. It's really simple. Opacity is used all the time to turn layers off or to fade out. Fading out happens all the time. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Made it quick for you, and go out and have some fun. See you later.